Hello everyone, my name is Cody Shupp and today I will be speaking with you about autonomous vehicle testing at the site that I chose in the North Carolina Turnpike Authority. So a couple things on a background of autonomous driving. Back in January of 2017, 10 sites in the United States were announced as quote unquote proving grounds for autonomous vehicles. The goal in this proving ground selection was to provide safe areas to test these advanced vehicle technologies, along with some other vehicle technologies that are currently in production, but that might not have been back in 2017. A couple of major factors, actually one of the biggest factor that dissuaded certain areas from applying to be one of these proving grounds was something very important, and it was that they needed to share whatever information that was gathered by utilizing these proving grounds to everyone in the industry. And some people and sites didn't like that because that would have taken away their advantage in the industry and the knowledge they would gain from these testings. So, like I said before, I chose the North Carolina Turnpike Authority proving ground for mine. A couple of reasons why I chose this were because it is a little different. You can see some of the examples of the proving grounds were cityscapes. One was in Pittsburgh, the other one was in Texas. So there was a lot of inner city testing, which is great, but I kind of wanted to focus on something a little different. So I wanted to focus on the highway type driving instead of a city, because I think maybe a lot of people may be focusing on that. So I wanted to go a little different there. So another reason why, because that is a little, that city driving can be a little dangerous. I decided to focus on something, the kind of testing that's a little safer, and that this specific area that I'll review on the next slide is a 3-lane highway that can be used to test these autonomous vehicles and other safety systems that some vehicles use today, such as active cruise control. So where's this test site located? So as you can see here, it's a roadway called US 540 East and West. It runs east and west, even though it kind of looks north-south there, but the road's marked as east and west. It runs from Research Triangle, North Carolina, about 22 miles or so, down to Holly Springs. So it's 22 miles one way, 22 miles the other way. So it's a nice stretch. You can see it's fairly straight, but a couple bends. So it's a nice, easy ride that they can get some good testing done. So it's actually a 3-lane road. So not just the fact that it's a highway, it's actually a large highway with 3 full lanes. So it provides that safety in testing that some manufacturers may be looking for if they're trying to really test the highway capabilities of these autonomous vehicles. So what kind of information are they trying to gain with the testing, and specifically at this location? So it's going to help the state and obviously the manufacturers better understand a real-world application of these autonomous vehicles, because sometimes they'll drive on these test tracks and test them in a controlled environment, but here they're actually going to be able to test them on the road with other vehicles. But it's a much safer way to do it rather than a single lane road or even a city, because it is a bigger highway. And another thing that they were testing, like I mentioned before, is it'll gain more knowledge on the ADAS, the advanced driving assist systems that we see in a lot of vehicles today. Like I was saying, adaptive cruise or lane centering in some vehicles may be named different. And then also the biggest thing is, it's going to determine what kind of changes need to be made on a statewide governmental side in terms of the signs that need to be changed, the road markings that need to be either repainted or reflectors that need to be added, things along those lines, that these tests on this highway will really help narrow down, and I think will be available or will help make more highway areas available for this autonomous driving in the future. So, like I was saying, what sets the North Carolina site apart from other sites? So, NCDOT, which is North Carolina Department of Transportation, claims that it's one of the most advanced freeways in the country. It uses fiber optic cables throughout the 19-mile stretch. It goes a little farther past and into the city. So, like I said earlier, it was about 22 from location to location. But the most advanced section is about 19 miles. And it uses this fiber optic cable system for toll collection, as well as cameras to monitor traffic patterns, and sensors embedded actually in the roadway to pay attention to the road conditions, whether it be icy or snowy or wet, to get a good idea for the drivers that are going on those roadways before they leave, so they know what they're going to be dealing with. Now, like I previously mentioned, some of the other testing that can be performed on this roadway specifically, other than the autonomous driving, are things like the ADAS system that's really hot right now with NHTSA. Now, ADAS is very sensitive right now because we're just starting to get into that technology on the vehicles today. So whenever a case pops up that, if there was an accident or whatever the case may be with these advanced driving assist systems, the manufacturer has to act quickly because it's still a new system. So in a place like this where it's a very advanced highway, 3-lane highway, plenty of room to navigate, it's a good spot for OEMs to focus more testing on, because they have the room, the availability to do it. Like I said, it's a 19 mile to 22 mile, depending where you start, stretch of this roadway that is really great to be able to kind of test on with these systems. And then another obvious another form of this ADAS is the Tesla Autopilot, under a little bit of scrutiny right now, but we're just going to see this technology increase and increase and increase more and more, and get better and better as the years go on. And I think we were all surprised when it first came around at how impressive it was when it actually worked. Now, one of the things that I really liked about this location was that the state, North Carolina themselves, really believe in the use of autonomous vehicles in the future. That I found online that on the NC.dot website, they had actually put together a large PowerPoint that I will link at the end of my presentation that you should definitely check out. It's very interesting in the benefits to it throughout the state. But not only that, there's multiple colleges and universities that partner with it. As you can see right here, all the different ones are here. NC State, UNC Chapel Hill, Duke University, and then UNC themselves, along with partnerships with NC.dot, North Carolina Department of Transportation, are all actively marketing this roadway for use for OEMs to come. So they're saying like, hey, come here. This is a great roadway to test your vehicles on. We encourage it. We know that this is going to be a great opportunity in the future that we want to capitalize on. And another really cool thing is they actually are currently right now, they're using autonomous vehicles at the Wright Brother National Park in Kill Devil's Hill, North Carolina, which is fascinating. And I read up a little bit on that, and it's great. I definitely encourage you to check that out. And one of the major things they're really focusing on is, the obvious here. The statistics from NHTSA are huge. 94% of these accidents are based on, human error. So that's really where North Carolina is kind of stepping up and saying like, hey, this is what the future looks like. it's going to be good for us, and it's going to be good for the state, and just everyone in general. And then something obvious, it's definitely going to reduce some traffic congestion, because again, that human error side of it's pretty important there. So I want to thank you for watching my presentation. Like I said, check out this link right here to NC DOT. It's a great link on all the positive things coming from the autonomous sector that will help not just North Carolina. This can help really any state. So I definitely encourage checking that out. So thank you so much for your time.